his speech. And now we are going to look at some of the specific word choices. So why did he choose some of these words as opposed to something else? Because words can have a very impactful, thing. Whoever says sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me, is a liar. Because we know all, I'm sure, that I'm sure you all know that words can actually have great meaning. They can hurt you, they can make a difference, they can help, they can make your day. Feliz cumple, Ana. And so, yeah, we're going to look
I
close.
think the saying.
Uh-huh.
I think the saying goes like, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never fail."
Yep, or words will never hurt me. Yep. Or fail me. Yep. And we know that that's not true because words can hurt you. Words can actually have a big impact years later. People that have been bullied, I even think my husband. My husband was bullied a lot when he was younger.
I
He thinks
think
of it as
it.
adult. Yeah, Riley?
I think it means words will never fail. Like they will never. They will hurt me, so they will never fail not to hurt me. I think that's what it means.
Oh, that could be. That could be. Okay, so if we look at our speech, we are looking at the very, very last, this very last sentence. It says, Emutya Latlat has spoken for his people. Okay, so this is Chief Joseph's name in Nimipu, or in his Nez Perce name. So I kind of want to know, I want you to think about it. Don't say anything yet. But why do you think Chief Joseph chose to close his speech with his Nez Perce name instead of just Chief Joseph, that English translation of his name? So I want you to think about that really. Okay. So I see some people already rose their hand. Miss Harper, why do you think Chief Joseph decided to use his name, his Nez Perce name, so his actual name, as opposed to that translated one? What do you think?
Because he's talking all about like himself as a Nimipu, so it'd be weird for him to use a Christian name. The people who had betrayed him, to like end off his speech when he's talking to like all the Christians and stuff. So I think he wanted to use his Nez Perce name to show that like he was talking about the Nez Perce to like what he is.
Okay, that is a very good prediction. Miss Riley, what do you think?
I think the same thing as Harper because like he wanted to be traditional.
Okay. Yeah, and he is speaking for his for his group, right? Let's see. I would like to hear from Karsten. Karsten, why do you think he put his Nez Perce name instead of his English name? I'm gonna call on people. What do you think, Karsten? Guys, you gotta. I'm gonna call on people. Miss Kitty, Why do you think Chief Joseph chose to close his speech with his Imut Tuyat Lat Lat name? Miss Greta, what do you think?
Probably because that's what his name is, and that it's kind of from his it's from his culture, and kind of like sometimes people like to finish it off with something from their culture because it kind of resembles who they are.
Ooh, thank you for sharing. Noah, what do you think? You can say something similar or different.
I don't really know.
You don't really know? Let me ask you, Noah, do you have a nickname? Oh, thank you, Karsten. It's more like his culture.
No.
No, you don't have a nickname?
No, I don't.
Do your parents have a like a different nickname for you at all?
No, not really.
No. Well, I'll tell you, my parents. So Noah, I'm gonna help lead you. So my parents, my nickname to my mom is Chicken. So she calls me Chicky Mouse Mouse. Fun fact, that's my nickname. And if I was doing a big speech, Noah, do you think I would want to give a nickname? Or do you think I would want to actually say my real name?
Probably give a nickname.
You think if I was giving a really, really important speech to like the president and the
You
leader?
gave your real name. Well, yeah, probably real name.
Real name. So how do you think the president would respond if I was like, okay, here is this really important speech. I'm telling you this as Chicky Chicky Mouse Mouse. Do you think the president would take me seriously, Noah?
No.
No, probably not. So, yeah, part of it is, yeah, I mean, the English translation of his name is kind of like that nickname. And you're wanting to show respect, right? And show that you are a strong person. And so you're not going to want to give a nickname that somebody gave to you. And I mean, it may not seem as silly as Chicky Chicky Mouse Mouse. So, or Chief Joseph. Remember, that's his Christian, like kind of his Christian name. So, we would want to show as much strength and respect as possible. So we are going to say probably our actual name. Give me 1 second. Yes. Oh, did somebody have something to add to it? I think you're the first group of students I've ever told that what my mom calls me as because I'm sure your parents have pet names for you, some of you. Even as an adult, my mama calls me Chicken. And I'm out somewhere, my mom goes, Chicken? And I go, yes. Because I grew up on a farm, and that was just her nickname. So, the choice about his name, so a lot of you guys actually kind of touched on this about his values. And I think Kirsten actually said, it's very based off his culture. Do you think he values his culture? Yeah. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Miss Iris, I see you raised your hand.
Yes. And also I have a question.
Yes.
So like in the book, Thunder Rolling in the Mountains, Chief Joe or like Sound of Running Feet refers to him as like Chief Joseph or her dad. So like, and everyone refers to her in the book as Sound of Running Feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet that's Sound of Running Feet's nickname. So I wonder what her real name is. Like,
That is a very good question. Because, I mean, well, what language is our book in? Is it in the Nimipu language?
English. It's in English.
It's in English.
Yes.
Huh.
Otherwise it'd be too...
Yes, Iris.
But also, we think that she's not like a real character.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Let's look it up. The Sound of Running feet a real person? Let's see. Um, I'm looking to see. This actually is a 14-year-old, but she's, let's see. I want to see. Let's do, um, let's see. Um, it talks about her, but I don't know if it actually says that if she's a real person. Um, because yeah, like you guys have very much noticed, we have the sound of running feet, and yeah, that might actually be her English name as well. It's just not telling me a clear, quick answer. Um, is sound of running feet a real person? Let's see, is she alive? Let's see. Um, I think she still is not a real person. Let's look. Joseph. Maybe Wikipedia tells us. Yes. So there's some of his name. Let's see. Does it talk about his family? Background. He was known as young Joseph during his youth, and then was baptized with the same Christian name later as Old Joseph or Joseph the Elder. Ooh. So yes, we were correct in thinking that it was his Christian name. He negotiated with his family. There's a Nez War, aftermath, death. In a group photo. Goodness, I wish it would tell me.
Maybe you could just ask if like Chief Joseph had a daughter.
Yeah, well, we saw in, let's see, did Chief Joseph have a daughter? Yeah. Did he have a wife? He had, it looks like, yes, Miss Springtime. He had Jean Louise. Where? Oh, right here. It looks like he only had one child. So it looks like he had Springtime, and then Jean Louise is the only one that was marked down. So, I don't know. But yes, here's his actual name. Imut Tuya Latlat, Chief Joseph or Joseph the Younger, and Young Joseph. Okay. So yeah, I think Sound of Running Feet is still based off of a fictional person. So we are still looking at these important beliefs and values does Chief Joseph convey in his Lincoln Hall speech. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to gather evidence and what is like the main meaning? What is the underlining meaning of his Lincoln Hall speech? And I think this is, like I said, we looked at yesterday, a really good comparison to his feelings of what is going on in our community nowadays. Okay, so we're going to start gathering evidence to think about the meaning of his speech. So what is the meaning? So what I want us to do is, I have this here, and you should have 29, what did I say? 29A in front of you, right? I should have this extension so I can type, right? Can I type? Oh, I thought I could type. Can I add comment? I can add comments. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. So ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do, can I hide this? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger for you. Show ruler. Okay, I'll just do this. When we look at our speech, I want you to think about, so we've got some actions from the text. And we want to kind of look at what value or belief does this show? Does that make sense? So I want you just to think about it first. And actually, if you've got a piece of paper, or maybe, you know what, use even the back cover of your workbook, because we're going to be almost done with this workbook. And grab a pencil. And I want you to quickly jot down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or if you want to do it notability, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And I'm going to call on people. Okay. So we're not going to have volunteers. I'm going to call on people that I don't normally have. And I want to... Huh?
Do we write action from the text, value or belief, and like that stuff or not?
Nope. I just want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for now. Okay.
Actually, write like that Chief Joseph does not agree with the redcoats.
Say that again.
Actually, like write the words. You just write the numbers.
Just write the numbers. Yep. So write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what you're going to do is you are going to fill out this value or belief. So you're going to end up writing I'm going to read the actions. You don't have to write these sentences, but I want you to write down what is the value or belief that Chief Joseph has. Okay, so by number 1, you can tell me what is the value or what does he believe. So let's look at some evidence from the text. So for example, number 1, Chief Joseph does not agree with the redcoats that they should fight the bluecoats. So maybe he believes that wars should be fought peacefully, or they should protest without violence. Okay, so that would be maybe a belief. Okay, you might have something different, so you can write that down. So I want you to write what is the value or belief that Chief Joseph might have based off of this. Okay. Number 2, what is the belief or value? Although
Are we going to talk about it, or are we just doing it ourselves?
Just do it yourself for now. Yep. And then I'm going to call on somebody to answer, and then we're going to use it to fill it in.
Go upstairs if we're going to do that. It's hard to focus.
Say that again? Okay. Number 2, what is Chief Joseph's beliefs or value? Although he leaves Wallowa Valley, he is sad and does not want to. So what does maybe he value? What kinds of things does he value or believe in? Yep, just wait. Number 3, what is his belief or value? He shares with Colonel Miles the story of how he got his Nez Perce name, Thunder Rolling in the Mountains. So how he got his name from the Great Spirit. What does he believe? Or what does he value? Number 4.
So we're gonna write these down with our own.
Yes, so write down what you think.
Okay.
Yep. Number 4. Chief Joseph makes sure that the elderly and the young children have blankets and food. Number 5, what belief or value is he showing when he speaks of the men who came before him whose bones are in the Nez Perce land? So at the very end, he's talking about his elders. He's talking about those that were buried in the Nez Perce land. What do you think he believes or has values? Oops. Okay. Today, yes, is Tuesday. Okay, just wait. You don't have to write anything in the chat. I'm writing stuff in the chat at the moment. And and then 5. Okay, so I wrote in the chat which ones you are going to, if you are going to answer or give an answer to. That way you're kind of prepared and you can think about it, listen to others. Okay, so for the first one, I would like Wyatt, Casey, and Ava to at least say something about what belief or value does Chief Joseph have when he thinks that the redcoats, or that they shouldn't fight the bluecoats. So Wyatt, Casey, and Ava, what did you guys say? I want to hear something small from each of you. Let's start with Wyatt.
They shouldn't fight the redcoat, or the redcoats shouldn't fight the bluecoats because a lot of them would die.
Ah, okay, thank you for sharing. Casey, what belief or value do you think he has?
I said pretty much what Wyatt said. I just put it in like different words.
Could you tell me those words?
Just wait, let me go see what I put.
While we wait for Casey, Ava, do you want to share what you wrote? Ava? I'm having you just share something small. So what do you think he believes in? What does he value? Casey, did you find what you wrote?
To ban by.
Okay, thank you. Casey, did you find what you wrote?
I can't find it.
Okay. So what do you think he believes again? with what will happen with the red coats and the blue coats if they fight? Or he doesn't agree
Believes
with?
that a lot of people would die.
Okay, very nice. Ava, do you think he has a value or a different belief? Who specifically would die? Maybe you can help us with that, Ava. Okay. Well, let's look at number 2. Miss Harper, Maddie, and Matthias. Although Chief Joseph leaves Wallowa Valley, he's sad and does not want to. What do you think he has this belief or value about?
He values his land, but he values his people more than that.
Okay. Miss Maddie, what do you think?
I think he doesn't want to leave because he's going farther away from his homeland and he's going to.
Okay, thank you. And Matthias?
In the chat.
Oh, you put yours? They should have their land, but people are more important. Thank you. I like it. Number 3, Aaron, Nora, and Sienna. So Chief Joseph shares his story about how he got the name. What do you think he believes or values?
I think he values his name, especially his name in his language, because his language has been going on in his people and his ancestors forever, and also it's a way that he communicates with him and his tribe.
Yeah, so he's it's a very ancient name in his language. Thank you for sharing, Sienna. Aaron and Nora, what do you think?
I kind of agreed with Sienna. I wrote that he values his traditional Nez Perce names because they're kind of his first names.
I mean, it's your actual name, right? That's what you were born with. A lot of you were born with a specific name. And then that was that Aaron or Nora? I think that was Nora. Aaron. Talked about his name, his tradition. Do you have a belief? Yeah.
In the chat, Erin said, that she had to say.
You're going to say the same thing as Sienna? What were you going to say as Sienna? Could you just restate it?
I was gonna say how he probably thinks his name has value because it's important.
Yeah. And he's talking about the Great Spirit and how he got his name. Very lovely. Thank you, guys. Number 4, Anna, Iris, and Jacob. He makes sure that the elderly and the young children have food and blankets. So what do you think he's valuing or believes in?
I wrote that he believes to take care of his tribe.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
He values his tribe.
Okay. Thank you. So he values his tribe. Jacob, do you have something to add to it? Let's see. So what would he value or believe? The elderly and young children have blankets and food. What do you think, Jacob? Are you there? Hey, well, I'll mark it down. Number 5. Joseph often speaks of the men who came before him, so like old leaders and tribe people, and those that are buried in the Nez Perce land. So Veronica, Riley, Joel, and Joshua. Somebody want to start?
I can if nobody wants to.
Okay, go ahead. What does he value?
I said he believes that the land is their home and belongs to them.
Okay. Veronica or Joel or Josh? I don't see Joel. Joshua or Veronica? I don't know why people are leaving. Veronica? I do let Miss Hort or Miss Hale know, guys. Veronica, do you have something? So land is home. Are you there, Veronica? No, I have the people written down who have banned. I only have like 3 people today, so I don't have very many. Okay. So lovely. Thank you, those that were sharing. Okay, so let us look at this assessment 3 focusing task. So we're going to do eventually one more essay, and what I did actually have it pulled up, and it's just small C here.
Is it in our book?
Usually it might not be in your book. You can look in your book. It's assessment 31 and module path. I usually have it, but I did not show me. It didn't show me in my book that we were going to look at it. So, because I had it right. So what we're going to do is we are going to be using 29A Chief Joseph's Lincoln Hall speech to help us talk about his beliefs and values, okay? Now, it's really nice because we already talked about some of his beliefs and values. Yes. What is your... I see somebody raise their hand. Miss Riley?
I did. Yeah. So I have a question. Are we gonna do the test for today together, or is that optional, or like what?
We are going to prepare for it. We're not going to test it. We want to tell... I think we'll get to it on Monday or Tuesday, okay? So if I think, if I look at my schedule, what we're going to do is we're going to prepare for it. We're going to fill out and prepare for it. We're going to have a Socratic seminar, and then we're not going to get to it until like Tuesday. Does that make sense? Yeah.
It is Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Next Monday or Tuesday. Yep, so we've got a week. So if you notice, I don't just give you the tests. We always kind of prepare for it. Does that make sense? And
yeah, it's just I saw the folder and it had the test in it, and so I thought it was for today.
Oh, we have just a quick quiz, or we have a quick review, but it's not this final essay, if that makes sense. Yep. So yeah, we've got a couple questions that you are going to answer, but we are not going. That'll be I'll give you time at the end. Okay. So what we're going to start preparing for is we're going to be looking at the beliefs and values of Chief Joseph. So throughout this, we have we've been thinking about the beliefs and values of our culture. Okay, and actually we just talked about it. We just talked about the beliefs and values of Chief Joseph. So we talked about how his family is dying. We've talked about how he values his land, his traditions, his names, his tribe. We even talked about in the past how he values nature. He values protecting his family. He wants to be done. He believes that people should be done with war and that there should be healing. And then we also see it more in his speech. We talk about the things that he values, okay? That we're human. He values human life, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to slowly start preparing for one more final small essay on writing about what he believes in. Okay, so remember we read this famous speech and we are going to be writing. So somebody who has read his speech, and you know what? Like I said, this is very connective to what is happening in our community. So we're eventually going to write an essay about how his speech conveys or helps show two beliefs and values. Okay. So we're going to have an intro. We're going to have two small paragraphs about those two beliefs or values, and then a conclusion. Does that make sense? So next Tuesday or next Monday, this is when we are going to start working on this. So we're going to prepare for it today and tomorrow, and we're going to actually have a big Socratic seminar, and we're going to add and talk about some of those beliefs and values. Okay. So, we're going to look at, you know what? We are going to, I don't want to go over what we're doing tomorrow. Okay. So what we're going to do is I want us, okay? You know what? I'm going to go off of this. We have a huge list, right, of things. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of paragraphs, and a lot of them talk about different beliefs and values. So I want you just to tell me in the chat because I think it'll be easier. We've already listed a whole bunch of them, and some of you guys have already even told me them here. So I want you to restate them. I'm going to make 2 categories here. I'm going to make, you don't have to write this, but I'm going to help you brainstorm. Insert a table. That's what I want. I want a 2 by, so I want to go, what is a belief value of Chief Joseph, and then what in his speech, what paragraph shows that?
Are we writing this in our notebook?
Nope, you're just going to watch because this is going to help you think about maybe because what you're going to do is you're going to end up choosing 2 of these, okay, eventually. And so this is going to help you get some ideas. Does that make sense? So let's write down, I'm going to write down some of the things that you guys already wrote. He values his land.
I have to go for band.
Okay, yes, Riley, you should, or Harper, you should be in band. Yep, I thought you had left.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we believe the belief or value that Chief Joseph had, that some of you guys said were traditions. We think his family is something he believes or values. We see his land. Let's see what some other things you guys said. You said, you know what we're going to say is home. home. He thinks that promises promises, or it should be, are something he values. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you help me figure out now what paragraph shows that he values the traditions, or what phrase? So let's look in here. So I want you to help me out, and you can tell me, why don't we tell me in the chat, that way I can copy it. So look in 29A, what 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, where, so for example, he values traditions like his names. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to copy, so a tradition like his name, he put his name, right? And that shows a tradition. So one of them at the end of number 2, does that help with traditions, family, land, home, or promises? And if you guys think of some other ones, let me know. End of number 2, let's see.
I have one.
Here, let me get.
In number 2,
Yep. Yeah.
it says, we were taught to believe that the Great Spirit Chief sees everything in here, because that's a tradition. Because
so we believe. I would say that they were taught to believe that the Great Spirit, or that they should be kind, right? Because that's what this is talking about. That they should be good. So he believes that people should be good, right? That people should be honest. Riley, would you say that's under tradition, family, home, promises, or is that a different belief? Maybe a different belief?
I think, yeah, you could say it's under well, for another belief that you could do besides that one, you could do the Great Spirit Chief.
Okay, so
Yeah.
would that maybe under a tradition, because that's part of their religion? Could we do? Okay, so number 2, we've got the Great Spirit Chief, right? Ooh.
Yep.
Spirit Chief. Yep. So number 2, he said a lot of things like we should treat people like they treated us, right? So be kind. And then this one is number 9. I'm trying to get caught up here. Number 9. Okay. In which part does he talk about maybe family, or how land and home is important to him in his speech or promises? What else do you think? We lost a lot of people. Ooh. Miss Hale does mark you absent if you decide to leave early, you guys.
Thanks.
Let's see. I see my own race. Let's see. They should be recognized as men. Oh, so let's see. Maybe they should be equal. So everyone is equal in a belief. Is equal. And that was in number 8, right? He says we should all be treated equal, right? We only ask to live as other men live. So I'm just putting some quotes in. You don't have to write this, you guys. I just want to fill it up. You can't hear. I don't know why you can't hear. Okay, is there one in here that he talks about family?
I know one for family.
Yeah.
And home.
Yeah.
I think so. paragraph 3.
Number 3?
Yeah, 3. Because it's like, family, bring my friend Yellow Bull, or like shaking hands with many great friends. It's sort of showing like talking about friends.
Yep. So he's,
and it's sort of family-like, but
you know what? I'll accept it. Because, yeah, he does talk about how he's shaken. He thinks, seeing friends again is helpful. Words. Ooh, broken promises. You know how we talked about he thought promises were important and actually being honest with them. So number 4. Yes, Balin, go for it. Okay, which one? Let's see. Misunderstandings. Men were created by the same spirit chief. Ooh. So this, let's see. Treat all men alike. Ooh, that's about kindness again.
I know one for his land and home.
Okay, which one for land and home?
9, because it says, "Let me be free to travel. Let me be free to stop." And like that's all like a part, like because let me be free to go to my land, or like free to choose my religion. Like it's part of their home.
Yep. So land and home. Let me be free to do those things. And that actually could be under traditions too. So I'm going to actually copy this and put it under traditions. Because if you notice, some of these things, yeah, they can be put under multiple things. Okay, family, land, home, promises, belief to be good, everyone is equal. Where else does he talk about that? Ooh, number 7, I only ask the government to be treated as all men are treated. So that's being equal. Everyone is equal, right? Ooh, there's a whole bunch of evidence for everyone is equal, to be equal. Let's see, is there something in number 6? Let's see, maybe they broken promises is like maybe number 6. Number 6, there are a lot of broken promises. And he also thinks that they're expecting too much of things, like the river can't run backwards. I'm going to say unrealistic. Realistic. Okay. Broken. Is there anything else in here that you think talks about family or land? Oh. Our fathers gave us many laws, which they have learned from their fathers. Hey, this is kind of like tradition, right? He believes in tradition.
Tradition is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, I see tradition a lot for being.
And everyone is equal.
Yeah. Land and home. Promises is actually another big one. So he believes that promises should be fulfilled. Let's see. This one has a little bit with home. If he's been a good man, he will have a good home. If he's been a bad man, he will have a bad home. So this talks about home a little bit. This is number 2. Okay, let's see. I will tell you about our people, then you can judge whether an Indian is a man or not. That's kind of like family, right? Because he's talking about his people. Let's put that under family. Okay, so really, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted you to think about in this, what are some of the main values? So, and we did find evidence. So some of our big values in the speech are following tradition, the importance of family, okay, and the importance of land and home, the importance of promises, and actually we'll say maybe words, how words can be swaying, belief to be good, so to be kind, and then everyone is equal. So white men and Indians are human, right? Were there any other beliefs or values that we saw in this speech that we maybe missed? Yes? No? All right.
In paragraph 8, it says, my heart is heavy. I see men of my own race treated to outlaws and driven from country to country.
Okay. Where do you think that should be put? Or do you think that's a new one? Should that be under traditions, family, land, home, everyone is equal? What do you think?
Like land and home, because he's saying how they're like separating from country to country.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So tomorrow, what you're going to do is you're going to watching a video with Miss Foley, or me. It depends on. I haven't looked at the video yet. I think I know the topic of the video, which is why we'll probably watch it with Miss Foley, and we're going to end up filling out and thinking about one of these beliefs and values. So I will make a copy of this and I'll put it in the folder for tomorrow. That way, if you want to look at it, you can choose one of these things. And really, what you're going to do is you're going to do something very similar to what we did, but you're going to expand on it. Does that make sense? So you're going to do almost exactly what we did today, but you're going to give your own, you're going to elaborate on it. Okay? So I will copy this.
How many people left?
Say that again?
Why so many people left?
I don't know. I know I only had like 3 people from band, but I mean it shows me how long you guys have been in the WebEx. So those that left early, I mean, I just let you know to Miss Hale and we mark you absent. And when your parents ask, why is my child? Why does not work well? I show them that here very long. So, okay. So last thing you have for today is I made it visible.
I can't really understand you because you're glitching.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, the last thing you have to do today, in the last 5 minutes, it probably won't take you too long. For you is to work on a question set. So what you're going to do is you're going to reread number 8 and 9, and you are going to answer according to paragraph 8. So what evidence do you think, how are Indians treated differently than white men? So you're going to figure out what he means by treating them differently. What 2 pieces of evidence shows that they're being treated differently? And then what do you think, we talked about this yesterday, what do you think, I will obey every law or submit to the penalty? What do you think he means by that? That one we talked about yesterday. And then what is the main point? So this is what we talked about. What is the main idea or the main value or belief for number 9? Okay. So you can open this now, day 25, question set, Lincoln Hall speech, Chief Joseph now. And when you are all done, you can leave. Okay. This is under Schoology.
It says that you still can't do it.
It says you still can't do it? Okay, let me fix.
Says this test/quiz is currently not accepting submissions.
I know, that's infuriating.
Okay, try it now. Reload. There you go.
I can do it now.
Yep, you can do it. Remember when done, then you can leave, okay?